It's been less than 18 months since Labour's landslide victory, and already Number 10 seems to be fighting itself. Because this week, someone inside Downing Street decided to brief journalists that their own Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, was plotting a leadership coup. Not from the opposition, not from reform, but from within. So what on earth is Number 10 doing? And more importantly, do you believe it? Okay, so here's what supposedly happened. Late Tuesday night, journalists across Westminster started getting calls, anonymous calls, claiming that the up-and-coming November budget goes badly, where Streeting could demand Keir Starmer's resignation. The briefing even went as far to say that up to 50 frontbenchers were ready to resign with him. All this, of course, conveniently leaked the night before the morning media round, the very morning Streeting is booked on TV. Almost like someone wanted to force him to publicly swear loyalty on air. I mean, you couldn't stage it better if you tried. So there he is, live on TV. The first question isn't about the NHS or the waiting list or reform. Even Streeting kind of makes a joke about this. It's confident and sarcastic, and he denies everything. He makes it clear that he supports Starmer, he's loyal, and their briefers are sabotaging their own side. He even jokes that at least this time they've stopped sending sexist briefings about women.
Looking forward to all the questions you're now going to ask me about how we're reinvesting billions of pounds, say, from cutting layers of management and bureaucracy in the NHS to the front line so we can cut waiting lists.
Yeah, you got it out there, well done.
I'm sure we're going to get all of those questions right about now.
We will get some of those questions in, I promise. But look, you'll forgive me for asking about the rumours of a coup. So what is going on? The allies of the PM saying that if there's a leadership challenge after the budget, the PM will fight it. So what, is there a leadership challenge? What's happening?
No, and I think whoever's been briefing this has been watching too much Celebrity Traitors, and this is just about the worst attack on a faithful I've seen since Joe Marler was kicked out and banished in the final. It's totally self-defeating briefing, not least because it's not true. And I don't understand how anyone thinks it's helpful to the Prime Minister either to suggest he's fighting for his job at a time when... Last time I saw him on Monday evening to talk about violence against women and girls and how we tackle it, he's fighting for the country and trying to turn it around from the absolute mess that we inherited.
So what's your message then to people who have been briefing this? What would you say to them?
Well, firstly, I'd like to commend them for at least taking on board the feedback about sexist briefings, because we've seen this before. Lucy Powell, Bridget Phillipson, Angela Rayner could go around pretty much the entire cabinet table. So at least they're picking on one of the boys now.
Then he lands a very serious point. And this is one of the things that really frustrates me about this government. They can't get their comms right. They can't sort out the messaging that they want to get out there because they're having to talk about stupid stuff like this.
The point is, these sorts of Westminster bubble process stories, boys getting carried away, these are things that distract from our ability to get across the message of the change we're making, the difference we're making on things that voters actually care about. So the only thing that this has achieved is distracting me from talking about the fact that when the Prime Minister and I announced we were going to abolish NHS England, reduce the size of my department, the NHS, by 50%,
you will talk about
and cut through layers of management bureaucracy, lots of people said, well, this isn't going to happen. Today I'm setting out how we're going to do that. But, of course, we're going to spend most of the time, and I'm grateful you're actually going to come on to what I came to talk about, but we will now spend more time on what is a totally irrelevant and untrue process story, but also a self-defeating one because it's come from Downing Street.
Meanwhile, Number 10's going into bunker mode. They're briefing that if there is a leadership challenge, Starmer will fight it, which, by the way, is a strange thing to say when there's no challenge in the first place. Allies insist that it's not paranoia, and they argue that Streeting's growing profile, his confidence, his media presence has made him, some in Downing Street, nervous. And you can see why. He is charismatic and articulate and not afraid to disagree and push back publicly.
Specific allegations about you that have been put out in the last 24 hours. I want to put them to you directly. Firstly, there's the Times. Downing Street figures suspect that Streeting could demand the Prime Minister's resignation in the days after the budget. Are you going to rule that out?
Yes. And nor did I shoot JFK. I don't know where Lord Lucan is. Had nothing to do with Shergar. And I do think that the US did manage to do the moon landings. I don't think they were faked.
And yet, here's the confusion. Streeting says he hasn't been plotting. Number 10 said they haven't been briefing. And yet, here we are. Every major newspaper running headlines about Labour imploding on itself again. It's like a reflex. Every time a government hits turbulence, someone reaches for the long knives. And the timing couldn't be worse. The budget's right around the corner. Polls are slipping and reform is breathing down their neck. So who do you actually believe? If you believe number 10, this is a preemptive damage control, an attempt to flush out ambition before it festers. If you believe Streeting, it's the opposite, paranoid act of self-sabotage by people terrified of his popularity. And honestly, both sound plausible, I suppose.
At the top.
Well, I'm not planning for us to do badly. In Scotland, we've got a dynamic leader.
Can you rule it out? Can you rule it out demanding the Prime Minister's resignation?
I'm not going in to demand the Prime Minister's resignation. I support the Prime Minister. I have done since he was elected leader of the Labour Party. I didn't vote for him in the leadership election, but I did support him from the moment he was elected. And I supported him all the way through at points when he did things that no one thought was possible. They didn't think he could turn around the Labour Party. He did. They didn't think he could win a general election. He did. People are now questioning whether he can change the country. He will.
Because if this is meant to shut them down, it's backfired spectacularly. He's now the victim of kneecapping, his words. And what makes him more relatable, more visible, and probably more popular than he was 3 days ago. Streeting says the Prime Minister should sack whoever briefed against him. And quite rightly, I agree. They have completely bad advisors. Yet number 10 said they're focused on running the country. Somewhere between those two statements lies the truth. Maybe there is a coup that never was, or maybe it's a sign of how fragile political loyalty becomes once power starts to wobble. Either way, it's messy, self-inflicted, and it does not look good for a government that promised competence. So, what do you think? Was the inside job to keep Streeting in line, or did someone in number 10 panic and hit the send to the wrong WhatsApp thread? Let me know down in the comments. And to see Nadine Dorries look completely deluded, check out the video that's on screen now. Thanks for watching, don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.